Have you ever eaten something your whole life, only to find out much later that it may not be the best choice for your body anymore? That surprising moment when a familiar food suddenly turns into a hidden health risk is exactly what today's video is about. Because while eggs are one of the most nutritious foods for older adults, the wrong foods eaten with eggs can quietly raise inflammation, upset digestion, and put extra strain on the heart, especially after age 60. And chances are, at least one of these food combinations has been part of your meals for years without you realizing the hidden impact. Today, we're going to gently uncover 4 food pairings that adults over 60 should avoid when eating eggs. Simple shifts that can help protect your energy, your digestion, and even your long-term heart and brain health. Before we dive in, if you enjoy calm, science-based guidance that helps you stay active, independent, and strong as you age, make sure to subscribe to Senior Wellness Daily. Give this video a like so more older adults can find it. And leave a comment telling us how you love to cook your eggs. These small interactions help support our mission, and they help you stay connected to a community focused on healthy aging. Eggs themselves truly are a nutritional powerhouse. They're affordable, gentle on digestion, packed with protein, and rich in essential nutrients such as vitamin D, B12, and choline nutrients that support bone strength, brain function, and muscle maintenance. Many doctors and dietitians recommend eggs for older adults precisely because they offer so much nourishment in such a small, simple food. Yet, as with many things in life, the benefits of eggs can shift depending on what you pair them with. Your body at 60 or 70 doesn't process food the same way it did at 30 or 40. Digestion slows slightly, stomach acid levels change. The liver works a bit harder, and the cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive to sodium, sugar, and heavy fats. What that means is simple. Eggs are good for you, but some of the foods often served beside them are not. And when the wrong food meets the right food in your digestive system, the result can be discomfort, poor nutrient absorption, inflammation, or unnecessary stress on the heart. Most people never think about food combinations, but as we get older, the pairings truly matter. I remember speaking with a retired physical therapist named Lavera, now in her late 60s. She told me, I didn't change how I ate until I realized my body had changed on its own. And that wisdom is at the heart of today's topic. It isn't about restricting your meals or removing the joy of breakfast. It's about understanding your body's needs at this stage of life so you can keep feeling your best clear-minded, energized, steady, and strong. Now imagine your typical breakfast plate. Maybe you've prepared your eggs just the way you like them, scrambled, sunny side up, or perhaps as a simple omelet. But sitting next to them is another food you've paired with eggs for decades. It seems harmless. It may even smell delicious. Yet the moment the two foods meet in your body, something happens. Your blood pressure rises more than it needs to. Your digestion slows down, or your blood sugar climbs too quickly. And you feel it later, maybe as sluggishness after breakfast, maybe as heartburn, maybe as afternoon fatigue you can't quite explain. We often blame aging for these feelings, but many times, it's the food combinations sending the wrong signals. That brings us to the very first food you should never eat with eggs, especially if you're over 60. It's a food many people grew up eating. It's a food served in diners, hotels, Sunday brunches, and family kitchens across the country. And while the flavor is comforting, the health effects, especially for seniors, are anything but. This food is extremely high in sodium, full of preservatives, and surprisingly hard for an aging digestive system to break down. When combined with the natural fats in eggs, it creates a heavy burden for your heart and your arteries. You may not see the effects right away, but over weeks and months, the strain adds up. So let's ease into this gently. Think of the sizzling sound you hear in a frying pan early in the morning, the smell that fills the kitchen, and the crisp, salty bite that pairs with eggs like an old familiar friend. But for older adults, that familiar friend has turned into a quiet enemy. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham have been breakfast staples for generations. Yet the truth is, they're among the worst foods to combine with eggs if you're trying to support long-term heart health, maintain steady energy, and reduce inflammation. But why? Why does this combination become so problematic after 60? The answer lies in a mix of preservatives, heavy fats, sodium, and age-related changes in digestion and metabolism. And once you understand what's really happening inside your body, the picture becomes clear and the alternatives become easy and even enjoyable. In the next part, we're going to talk about exactly why eggs and processed meats make such a harmful combination for seniors, and how even small changes to your breakfast plate can make a big difference in your daily energy, your heart health, and your overall sense of well-being. When we talk about processed meats, bacon, sausage, ham, the first thing many people think of is flavor. That smoky, salty, familiar taste takes us right back to childhood kitchens and decades of shared breakfasts. But inside the body, something entirely different is happening, especially in adults over 60. Processed meats are loaded with nitrates, nitrites, and preservatives that the liver has to work extra hard to break down. And with age, the liver naturally becomes more sensitive. Pairing these meats with eggs, which already contain natural fats that require bile to digest, creates a double workload for the digestive system right at the start of the day. Doctors often explain it this way. The combination of egg fat plus processed meat fat is like stacking two heavy weights onto a shelf that used to be strong but has slowly weakened with time. The shelf might still stand, but the stress begins to show. Blood pressure spikes more dramatically after meals. Arteries experience more stiffness. And digestion slows, sometimes for the entire day. Many older adults think they're just tired in the morning, when in reality, breakfast is pushing their body into overdrive. The sodium load alone can be overwhelming. A single serving of bacon or sausage can contain as much sodium as an entire day's worth of recommended intake for heart-sensitive adults. When mixed with the fats and eggs, this leads to a sharper rise in blood pressure. You may have felt this yourself: slight flushing, a warm face, or that subtle tightness around the temples. These are small signs the cardiovascular system is being pushed harder than necessary. And while eggs on their own rarely cause this issue, the combination does. Inflammation is another silent issue. Processed meats are considered inflammatory foods, meaning they trigger the immune system to work harder. Chronic inflammation is linked to arthritis, memory decline, high blood pressure, and heart disease, concerns many of our viewers are actively trying to manage. Eggs, by contrast, are generally anti-inflammatory. But when you pair a good food with a highly inflammatory one, the harmful food wins. You lose the benefits you were trying to gain from the eggs in the first place. I once spoke with a retired school principal named Helen, now 74, who told me something interesting. She said, "I used to feel sleepy right after breakfast, so I thought it was age catching up with me. But when I stopped eating sausage with my eggs, it felt like someone flipped a light switch back on." She didn't change the eggs. She simply removed the processed meat. And that single shift helped her digestion, her blood pressure, and her afternoon energy levels. This kind of story is incredibly common. People don't realize how much their food pairings impact the way they feel until they try something different. But thankfully, the solution is easy. Instead of pairing eggs with processed meats, you can pair them with vegetables, avocado, fruit, whole grains, or even plant-based protein if you enjoy it. These alternatives support heart function, improve digestion, and help maintain steady energy throughout the day. Small changes, big results. Now, processed meats are the first dangerous food you should avoid combining with eggs. But the second one is even more surprising because it's something most people assume is harmless, even comforting. In fact, this next food is often considered a treat, something people look forward to on a slow morning, a cozy weekend, or a holiday gathering. But for adults over 60, pairing it with eggs can lead to an uncomfortable chain reaction inside the body. This second food may seem innocent, but when eaten with eggs, it disrupts digestion, causes blood sugar swings, and leaves the body struggling to keep up. The stomach receives mixed signals: one food that digests quickly and one that digests slowly. The result is bloating, heaviness, and sometimes fatigue shortly after eating. And for older adults, slower digestion magnifies these effects. Picture this: you sit down at the table, your eggs are warm and ready, and beside them is something sweet. Maybe a stack of pancakes, a soft muffin, a pastry, or even syrup that finds its way onto the eggs by accident. These foods digest almost instantly because they're simple carbohydrates. Eggs digest slowly. The stomach doesn't like this mismatch. It causes fermentation in the gut, leading to gas and discomfort. Many people think it's lactose intolerance or age-related digestive issues, but often it's just the wrong pairing. So the second food you should never combine with eggs is sugary or sweet breakfast items, pancakes, pastries, muffins, syrups, or sugary breads. For older adults, this combination creates sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar. You might feel energized for a few minutes, but soon after, your body drops into a slump. For people managing diabetes or prediabetes, which is increasingly common after 60, this combination can be especially risky. We'll go deeper into exactly why these foods clash with eggs, and how you can retain the joy of a warm breakfast without the digestive frustrations or blood sugar issues. And after that, we still have two more foods to uncover. One is extremely common at breakfast tables, and the other is something almost nobody realizes is a poor match with eggs. Sugary breakfast foods are sneaky because they feel gentle. A muffin feels light. A pancake feels comforting. A little syrup doesn't seem like much. But the digestive system of someone over 60 experiences these foods very differently than it did decades ago. As we age, our stomach empties more slowly, insulin becomes less responsive, and the gut becomes more sensitive to rapid changes in blood sugar. When a fast-burning sugar meets a slow-digesting protein like eggs, the result is a digestive conflict that leaves many seniors feeling sluggish, swollen, or unsettled without knowing why. It works like this. Your body tries to quickly absorb the sugars from pancakes or pastries, but at the same time, it has to spend hours breaking down the egg protein. Part of your breakfast races ahead, and the other part lingers. The stomach becomes confused. Should it speed up or slow down? This creates fermentation, which leads to gas, bloating, and sometimes heartburn. And because the sugary food empties faster, your blood sugar rises sharply, then drops, often leaving you tired or craving more sweets just an hour or two later. For someone in their 20s, the body can often compensate. But in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, the pancreas doesn't respond as quickly, and blood sugar swings feel more dramatic. People describe this as morning fog, post-breakfast crash, or feeling heavy after eating. Many seniors blame aging, but very often it's just the wrong food pairing. I once spoke with a viewer named Judy, a 68-year-old grandmother who started noticing that after her Sunday tradition of scrambled eggs and pancakes, she felt unusually tired, so tired she needed a nap by mid-morning. She thought maybe she wasn't sleeping well, or maybe her thyroid was off. But when she switched the pancakes for fruit and whole grain toast, the fatigue disappeared. She told me, "I didn't realize breakfast was draining me." Stories like hers are so common, and they're exactly why Senior Wellness Daily focuses on simple, science-based guidance that keeps older adults feeling positive, steady, and strong. But let's be clear, avoiding sugary breakfast doesn't mean avoiding enjoyment. It just means avoiding the combination of sugary foods with eggs. You can still have sweet treats occasionally, just not in the same meal as eggs. If you want something comforting and a little sweet, try pairing your eggs with berries, sliced apples, or even a small serving of oatmeal. These digest more gradually, support steady blood sugar, and work beautifully with the protein in eggs. Now, with the first two foods behind us, we come to the third. And this one catches almost everyone by surprise because it's so common, so familiar, and so closely associated with breakfast that people rarely question it. In fact, this food is so ordinary that it feels almost impossible to imagine a plate of eggs without it. But for adults over 60, especially those managing cholesterol or blood pressure, this combination can create unnecessary strain. The fascinating part about this third food is that it isn't harmful by itself. In moderation, it's totally fine for many people. The problem only appears when it's eaten with eggs. The combination creates a lipid overload of fat saturation that the aging body has difficulty processing in one sitting. It adds to the workload of the liver and gallbladder. And for some people, it worsens acid reflux and tightens the chest after eating. Imagine a slice of something warm, buttery, and golden sitting next to your eggs. Maybe you toast it in the morning. Maybe you spread butter or jam on it. Maybe it's a heavier version like a croissant or biscuit. This third food interacts with eggs in a way that slows down digestion, adds unnecessary fat to the bloodstream, and increases inflammation after the meal. So what is this third food? It's heavy, buttery bread products, especially white toast with butter, croissants, biscuits, and similar pastries. These foods digest quickly because they're refined carbs, but the fat from the butter and from the pastry itself creates a double fat combination when paired with eggs. That's exactly the kind of combination the aging digestive system struggles with the most. Refined carbs plus high fat plus protein all at once. Many people feel this combination as a heaviness in the stomach or chest. Some feel a wave of tiredness afterward. Others experience mild indigestion or pressure beneath the rib cage. And again, most people assume it's just aging. But when they switch from buttery breads to something lighter like whole grain toast, avocado, or vegetables, the difference is noticeable within days. But the fourth and final food on this list may be the most surprising of all, because almost nobody talks about it. It's not processed. It's not sugary. It's not buttery. In fact, it's something many people believe is a health food. Yet for seniors, when eaten with eggs, it can interfere with nutrient absorption, reduce the benefits of choline and B vitamins, and cause digestive discomfort that people often misinterpret as a dairy issue or a sensitivity. The truth is, it's simply a bad match with eggs. The fourth food on our list is one of the most surprising, because most people think of it as clean, simple, and even good for digestion. Many older adults add it to breakfast thinking they're doing something healthy. But when paired with eggs, especially after age 60, this food can interfere with protein absorption, disrupt gut balance, and trigger bloating or discomfort that feels completely out of place. That food is yogurt, especially flavored, sweetened, or fruit on the bottom varieties. Now, yogurt on its own can be perfectly fine. It offers probiotics, calcium, and a refreshing texture. But here's the part very few people know. Eggs and yogurt require opposite digestive environments. Eggs need an acidic stomach environment to break down properly, while yogurt, because it contains live cultures, prefers a more neutral environment. When the two are eaten together, they weaken each other's digestion. The stomach becomes confused, acidity fluctuates, and the digestive process becomes less efficient. For older adults, whose stomach acid levels naturally decline over time, this mismatch can lead to more noticeable symptoms. People describe a bubbly stomach, mild nausea, a swollen belly, or an uncomfortable fullness that lasts longer than it should. Many assume it's lactose intolerance, but often it's just the combination of yogurt with eggs causing the stomach to struggle. Another issue is nutrient competition. The probiotics in yogurt, while beneficial on their own, can interfere with the absorption of certain nutrients in eggs, especially choline, which is essential for memory and brain function. As we age, the brain becomes more sensitive to nutrient intake. Choline, B vitamins, protein, they all matter more than ever for maintaining memory, focus, and emotional resilience. So when a seemingly healthy food like yogurt reduces the effectiveness of one of the best brain-supporting foods we have, eggs, that's a combination worth avoiding. I once received a message from a 72-year-old viewer named Don who said he felt bloated every morning after breakfast, even though he ate light, just eggs and a small yogurt cup. He assumed he was eating clean. But once he separated them into different meals, eggs for breakfast, yogurt later as a snack, the bloating disappeared almost instantly. He said, "I didn't know timing mattered, but it really does." And timing is the key idea here. Yogurt isn't the enemy, it's the pairing that causes trouble. If you love yogurt, you certainly don't need to give it up. Just enjoy it at a different time of day. It makes a great mid-morning snack or afternoon pick-me-up. That way, your eggs can deliver their full benefit without digestive interference. And the yogurt can support gut health without getting tangled in the digestive process. Now, we've explored all 4 food pairings to avoid with eggs, processed meats, sugary breakfasts, buttery refined breads, and yogurt. Each of these combinations challenges the aging body in a different way, whether through inflammation, sugar spikes, indigestion, nutrient competition, or cardiovascular strain. And understanding these combinations is one of the simplest, smartest ways to support long-term health after 60, but this video isn't just about what to avoid. It's also about what to embrace, the combinations that help you feel energized, clear-minded, and strong. And in the next section, we're going to walk through the best foods to pair with eggs for digestion, heart health, brain support, and steady daily energy. You'll also learn how small changes can help you avoid the morning crash. So many older adults assume is unavoidable with age. Now that we've uncovered the 4 foods you should never combine with eggs, processed meats, sugary breakfast foods, buttery refined breads, and yogurt, let's shift towards something more uplifting. Because for every combination that weighs you down, there is another that lifts you up, supports your digestion, nourishes your heart, and gives you steady morning energy. And this is one of the most empowering parts of healthy aging, discovering how simple choices can make your entire day feel lighter, clearer, and more comfortable. Eggs are one of the most versatile, senior-friendly foods available. They're gentle on the stomach when given the right partners, and they deliver steady protein that supports muscle strength, mobility, and balance, 3 things that matter deeply after 60. But the secret isn't just eating eggs. It's pairing them with foods your body loves. Foods that complement digestion instead of confusing it. One of the best companions for eggs is vegetables, especially leafy greens, tomatoes, peppers, spinach, and mushrooms. These foods add fiber, antioxidants, and hydration that help the body break down the protein in eggs more comfortably. Many older adults find that when they switch from a heavy breakfast to a veggie and egg breakfast, they feel lighter, steadier, and more focused well into the afternoon. There's a reason doctors and nutritionists recommend colorful plates. They support metabolism, circulation, and gut health all at once. And they blend perfectly with eggs. Another excellent partner is avocado. Its healthy fats work beautifully with the protein in eggs, offering a kind of slow-release energy that keeps blood sugar stable. Avocado adds creaminess without overwhelming the digestive system the way buttered bread or pastries do. Many seniors describe it as a comfort food that doesn't cause any of the heaviness. It's also rich in potassium, which gently supports healthy blood pressure, something that becomes more important with age. Fruit can be another great pairing, especially berries, apples, and citrus. Fruits digest easily and bring vitamins and natural fiber to the plate. Unlike pancakes or muffins, fruits don't spike blood sugar rapidly. They offer sweetness without the crash, and when eaten with eggs, they help create a balanced, satisfying breakfast that supports both digestion and brain health. I once heard a nutrition researcher say, "Berries are nature's brain food," and that's something I repeat often because it's true for every age, but especially for those over 60, whole grains can also pair well with eggs as long as they're not weighed down with butter. A slice of whole grain toast, quinoa, or a small serving of steel-cut oats gives the body slow-burning carbohydrates that support energy without causing sharp spikes. Unlike refined bread, whole grains provide fiber that helps digestion flow smoothly, something many older adults appreciate more with each passing year. And for those who enjoy a heartier breakfast, beans are an overlooked option. Beans and eggs together make a complete, fiber-rich, nutrient-dense meal that supports cholesterol health, bone strength, and digestive balance. Many cultures around the world eat beans and eggs for breakfast, and it remains one of the most senior-friendly combinations you can choose. especially for maintaining steady energy throughout the day. But the most important part of building a healthy breakfast is listening to your body. As we age, the body sends clearer signals. It just becomes our job to hear them. If a food makes you feel heavy, bloated, foggy, or tired, that's your body asking for something gentler. If a food gives you steady energy, helps you feel comfortable, and keeps your mind clear, that's your body saying, yes, more of that. This is where life experience becomes one of your greatest tools. You've lived long enough to know how food affects your mood, your energy, and even your quality of life. You've learned through good meals and not so good meals that your body has a voice. And honoring that voice even in small ways can make the aging process feel more empowering, more confident, and more joyful. Sometimes, the smallest changes create the biggest shifts. Replacing bacon with vegetables, trading pancakes for berries, choosing whole grains instead of buttery bread, saving yogurt for a midday snack instead of combining it with eggs. These little adjustments may seem subtle, but they add up, supporting your heart, your memory, your digestion, and your daily independence. I remember a 79-year-old viewer named Frank who wrote to us saying that after he changed his breakfast routine using tips from Senior Wellness Daily, he felt 10 years younger. He said it wasn't just about his body, it was about clarity, energy, and a feeling of being more in control of his health. And that's exactly why these videos exist. Not to create fear or restriction, but to offer gentle, practical knowledge that helps older adults stay positive, strong, and engaged in life. Our mission at Senior Wellness Daily is simple: to share small, science-based tips that support your wellness journey. We want to help you stay active, independent, mentally sharp, and emotionally resilient. That means talking about nutrition, gentle exercises, memory support, mobility, healthy routines, and the little habits that make life brighter and more enjoyable. As you think about your next breakfast, remember that eggs can be one of your best allies if you give them the right companions. Try adding vegetables, healthy fats, or whole foods that respect your digestion. Try removing the heavy, sugary, or conflicting foods that leave you feeling drained. And most importantly, trust your body. It has carried you through many decades, and it knows what helps you feel your best. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Tell us which of these combinations surprised you the most, or share your favorite way to enjoy eggs now that you know the foods to avoid. Your comments help others feel less alone, and they help us continue creating content that supports your health and happiness. Thank you for spending this time with us. Remember, every small choice you make is a step towards staying positive, strong, and fully engaged in the life you love. And we're honored to walk that journey with you, one simple tip at a time.